Many of you likely use popular rideshare apps like Uber and Lyft, but have you ever wondered what it takes to design and implement such an app or anything similar that uses an event-driven architecture? As anyone who has tried to build anything knows, it's faster and easier to write down a vision than to implement it. Say you are an architect or a developer and have been tasked to design an event-driven rideshare service for Acme Rideshare. As part of this, you need to decide and choreograph the relationships between the various apps required for the rideshare service, the events they must publish or subscribe to, and the payload schema of those events. The team might lay out the architecture in some large documents, or PowerPoint or Visio diagrams. Another team might be responsible for knowing all the events that get shared between the applications, which they capture in Excel spreadsheets, and the payload schema of these events might be in some source control repository. When working with a small demo or proof of concept use case, these Excel spreadsheets and Visio diagrams might serve your needs. But if you're a real enterprise, you might be well aware of the challenges this can pose. Lack of tooling required from creation to discovery to operationalization of events can slow down your adoption of an event-driven architecture and tempt you to use REST-based synchronous architectures instead. Enterprises that recognize the value of event-driven architectures often lack the ability to maintain agility through the application lifecycle when becoming event-driven. What would be nice if you had a tool on which architects and application teams can collaborate and design all aspects of your event-driven architecture and let your teams focus on the business logic. Last few months, the engineering team at Solace have been making our dreams for such a tool a reality, and we call this the PubSub Plus Event Portal. The Event Portal is a unified hub that lets architects and developers design, create, discover, share, and manage all events within your ecosystems, such as internal and external to your enterprises. It unlocks business value by allowing you to visualize event flows and create triggers for better agility and customer experience. Plus, you gain more control of your ecosystem by enforcing governance and security policies through event sharing audits. Next in this video, we will look at some of the capabilities in our early access version of the Event Portal and how it can help us take the Acme Rideshare example from design, associating events with application, to generating code for the application. Let's start by exploring the Event Designer. The Event Designer is a place where application teams can collaborate and design all aspects of your event-driven architecture. It is through the Event Designer where you will be able to create new events and define or associate the payload schema of these events. In this demo, we pre-created an Acme Rideshare application domain in the Designer. Our rideshare example is simple. Riders request ride, drivers accept rides, riders and drivers get status changes, and upon completion of a ride, drivers get their funds deposited and the rider getting a receipt of the payment. This event-driven architecture requires not just defining the data schemas of information exchanged between a set of applications, but also the actual events. For example, a rider requesting a ride to all nearby drivers. These events are what enables a one-to-many sharing paradigm, making a publish-subscribe or PubSub model so powerful. Let's take a look at the Passenger app. When managing an application in the Designer, you can search and select what events the app needs to subscribe to and what events it needs to publish. You can click on the event to see its description, topic destination on which the event gets published, and define or view the payload schema. The ride request payload schema in this case is in JSON format, and we can import the schema from a file or directly edit the schema. Since the events act as a glue between applications, and we know all apps that consume and produce each event, it is possible to view the overall application choreography and relationships through a network graph. So while at runtime your applications are unaware of each other and loosely coupled, the Event Portal provides you total awareness of these interactions, enabling you to design and manage the event-driven ecosystem. Now consider we need to add a new application to integrate with a B2B expense reporting service, for example, SAP Concur, so users don't have to manually enter their expenses for their business rides, saving the user's time. In our Acme Rideshare example, the user receipts are generated by the billing app, and this event needs to be consumed by a B2B integration service app. Before we create this new application in the Designer, let's take a look at the events that are available to us. For this, we can go to the event catalog and search for the customer receipt event. The event catalog acts as a storefront for all events within your organization, which facilitates the sharing and aid in design time discovery of events. Now that we have discovered which event contains the customer receipt, we can generate a new application from this event within the catalog. Let's call this new application Expense Integration, which will need to consume the customer receipt event. Going back to our event designer, we can now see this new expense integration app associated with our design, consuming the customer receipt event from the billing app. But what if I'm a developer who needs to build this expense integration app? Using the built-in async API integration, we can easily generate the schema for this application, which can then be imported into the async API code generators. This powerful feature allows a developer to focus on their business logic without having to worry about how to consume or produce the events. Ultimately, the event designer and the event catalog components are the foundation for all future components in the event portal and will be further enhanced in future releases. You can find more information on the PubSub Plus event portal on the Solace.com website or contact us for more information. Thank you for watching the event portal early access demo.